Hey everyone, this is Desi of Desi Designs, and if you've been following my blog or my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, you know that I promised to upload a special Valentine's Day surprise. So here it is. I'm going to be showing you how to make Valentine's Day sugar cookies like these. You see here. So the sweet and sassy ones from my Valentine's Day collection. But the cool thing is you can use these exact same techniques to make sugar cookies for any holidays or any occasion. And they're super versatile. I use them to make a lot of my different jewelry pieces. If you're interested in seeing some of the other pieces I've made with the sugar cookies, check out my Valentine's Day collection video, and I'll link that in the description box, okay? So, like I said, today we're going to make sweet and sassy dangle earrings, which make a great gift. So stay tuned to find out how and what supplies you're going to need and stuff. Okay, so here are the supplies that you're going to need. First, I'm going to show you, these are the colors I use, and you can use whatever you want. I use the Primo Sculpey in the Ecru color, and the Primo Sculpey in translucent. And you can use any translucent clay you want. I know that Primo's a little more expensive than some of the other brands, but I think it has the best consistency out of the package, and I think it bakes the strongest. So you need those. You'll need like a roller, some kind of rolling pin, or I have a pasta machine that I use because I work with clay a lot, and it saves my hands from having to do as much kneading and stuff. So some kind of roller. You'll also need a cookie cutter. I have a little heart-shaped one, and if you don't have those, you can also use an X-Acto knife to cut out your pattern. You'll also need sandpaper. I use a medium and a fine grit to do mine. You can use whatever you want for texturing. You'll also need some kind of rounded in tool or something, especially if you're using cookie cutters, because sometimes it'll stick inside and you can use this to pop it out. You'll need like the chalk pastels. This is my set that I have, and you can just buy the cheapest ones out there. You do not need to use expensive ones. And then I just have a paintbrush that I use for adding the coloring. You'll need TLS, and oil pastels to color it with. And again, you can use like the cheapest brand you can find. You do not need to spend a lot of money on these because you're just using them to color. You'll also need flat toothpicks and something to mix the TLS and oil pastels with. So yeah. And then you'll need, if you're going to decorate your cookies, you'll need glitter and micro beads. So these are the ones I have. I have a mix between the Martha Stewart ones and the Recollections. So these are all micro marbles, except this one is like the glitter. So you'll also need pliers. These are the ones I use. I have a pair of round nose. Then I have my wire cutters, and I use these like angled needle nose pliers. And then if you want to make yours into earrings, you'll need head pins, which look like this. You'll also need ear wires like this, or any ear wire really, any kind you want to use. And then I just use like the clear backs. So those are all the supplies you need. So now we'll get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take equal amounts of the ecru and the translucent clay and mix them together, and the size of the ball that you mix or the size of the chunks that you mix together is really going to depend on how many cookies you want to make. So you go ahead and get that all mixed together, and once you do, it'll look kind of like this. So then you're going to take this, make sure it's good and conditioned. It should be soft, but not so soft that it's like sticking to your fingers, because it's going to be way too soft to try and do things with. So once you get it to that point, you're going to want to roll it out into a flat sheet. And I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so after you get it rolled out, it should be between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch thick. So that's what mine looks like. So you can set it down, and then you take your cookie cutter or your X-Acto knife, whatever you're going to use, and you just punch it out like you would a regular cookie cutter. Like I said, if it sticks in there, you can use your ball tool to kind of just push it out. It'll leave a little divot in it, but you're not going to see that once you get it textured. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 4 cut out because I'm doing 2 pairs of earrings. So I'll get those out. And there's the last one. Whoops. So now that you have your 4 cut out, and sometimes you'll get a little bit of like a hanger on there, you just kind of push it in. So the next thing you're going to want to do is put your head pins in. And for that you just hold it in one hand, and you take your head pin and you insert the end that doesn't have the flat piece in, very gently, and you just kind of coax it through. Sometimes it'll smush depending on how soft your clay is. It'll distort it a little bit. You just kind of put it back together with your fingers. These are actually really soft, much softer than I thought they were. So I'm gonna go stick them in the freezer for about 2 minutes, and that'll firm them up so that it's a little easier to get the head pins in. So when I come back, then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so now that I have all the head pins in, I'm going to take my sandpaper, and I use a combination of both, to texture the top. And I do just do the top on most of my things because you don't actually really see the backs of them, so it just seems kind of silly. So I just take the bigger grit and I do that first, and then I take the finer grit over the top to just kind of add a little more texture to it. And you don't have to push real hard, the clay will pick it up because you don't want to like smush them really bad. So maybe you can see it. I can bring it up closer. So now they look a little bit more like a cookie, I think. No, it's not focusing very well. Okay, so then the next step is to use your chalk pastels to make them look baked. So I just use like a scratch piece of paper, and as you can see I kind of have a mix there, but I don't have enough chalk there. So how I do it, I just kind of scribble on the page so you get some dust. So as you can see, it kind of piles up. I use kind of this tan color, and then I use some orange. I use less orange, just a little bit, because if you use too much it looks way too orangey and you don't want that. Then I just take my paintbrush and I kind of just mix it all together until I get kind of this nice baked looking color. And then kind of tap my brush out because you don't want too much. And then you just take your cookies and you brush it lightly over the top. And I do a little bit on the back just so it's a little more uniform. And then I also hit the sides, because you do kind of see the sides sometimes. So I'm going to concentrate a little more the color onto the edges, so it looks like that. So now it looks like it's been baked. And then you just do that to the other ones. So you start with the top, brush it lightly, concentrate on your edges, hit the back a little bit. So yeah, you just do that with all 4. And once you have them done, You're going to put them on whatever you're baking them on. I have like this metal pan that I use. So you stick them on the metal pan and you bake them at 275 for like 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, 275 for 5 to 7 minutes. Because you don't want to bake them too long, because you're going to have to bake them again once you get them iced. So I will be back after these guys get baked. Okay, so now that these guys have been baked, it's time to mix up the icing. I will show you how I do that. So I'm going to scoot these over a little bit. And I'm going to be doing a light pink icing. You can do any color you want, but I like the light pink ones a lot. They're one of my favorites. So we take your oil pastel, and like I said, you can use just the absolute cheapest brand you can find. You take your X-Acto knife, and you just kind of shave some off, and how much you need depends on how many cookies you're making. This is probably going to be a little too much. And then I just kind of chop it up with my knife a little bit, just because it makes it a little faster when you go to clean it off. So you do that. Then you take your TLS. I'm not sure if this one's not actually open, so usually you squeeze it out through the nozzle. For me, I find it's a little faster to just kind of plop some out this way. You get more out faster. Then you don't have to worry about like air bubbles like blowing your pile of pastels all over the place, which can be really annoying. So like I said, I do it this way. Again, it's faster, especially when you're working on a lot of items. So then you just kind of take this. You can use a popsicle stick. I don't recommend using a toothpick because it's gonna break. So then you just mix it, and you do push kind of hard because you want to get all the pigment mixed up really nice and smooth. You want it to come out really smooth. You don't want any like chunks in it, or you want like the least amount of chunks possible. When you're putting sprinkles in, a few little chunks of pigment aren't going to make a difference, but if you're just putting icing on them, you're going to see those darker pieces of pigment. So you just mix and mix and mix and mix. Like I said, I just press it out really thin, because then you can always scrape it all back into a pile to do it again. So, I mean, this is how I do it. I'm sure that there are other ways that are better for doing this. And apparently you can also use acrylic paint to color TLS, but I like the consistency that you get when you use the pastels, personally. So like I said, there's different ways to do this, but this is my way. So once you get that mixed up pretty good, you want it to be pretty thin in consistency. This is actually probably a little thick. I won't know till I get a toothpick in it. So like I said, you'll need some of these like flat toothpicks. You can use the round ones, but I think these ones are easier for doing the icing. Actually, that's just about perfect. It's a really nice consistency. So I'm going to ice these first, and then I'll show you how to decorate them. So I just take and I pull a little bit on my toothpick, and you can use the thick or the thin end depending on what you prefer. And you just kind of spread it around like you would on a regular cookie. This is kind of hard to do with it this far away from my face, actually. So I've got a little bit of a chunk in there, but you probably won't be able to see it once it's baked and been decorated. Okay, so there's one. I'll do another one and I'll show you how I decorate each of them. For the sweet and the sassy ones, and you can use these same techniques for anything, like I've said before. So I didn't quite get enough icing there. Like I said, you just spread it around like you would on a regular cookie. It's a little icing, I think. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I decorate them. This right here is what I use for the sweet collection. It's called Snow if you use the Recollections brand. I think most of the store has something similar. But it's just kind of like clear, they're like clear pieces of glitter, and it's kind of sparkly. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. Use this little lid here to kind of keep everything contained. So I just open it up and I just kind of tap a little bit out to get a nice little pile, and then I just use my finger to cover it. Just kind of slide it between my fingers, and it comes out real nice and evenly across the top of the cookie. And then you just kind of get it off your fingers as much as you can. You usually have to wash your hands. And I pick it up, I tip mine over and just kind of tap it a little bit to get any extra off, and then it looks kind of like that. And then you'll bake it and it comes out looking like the other ones do. Okay. So then for the sassy, and I'm just going to kind of tap that to get those out of the way. Again, you lay that down. And then you're going to take, I use a red and a pink glitter. And again, these are Recollections. It's raspberry and cherry is what I'm using. And I just, you know, put a little bit of each. It does not take much glitter. This stuff really shows up. So I just kind of put a little of both. I mix it around with my finger. Just like that, and then I press my finger into it, and again just kind of gently sprinkle, just like that. A little bit more. So that's step one for the sassy ones. Then so I'm going to take this out of here and kind of tap as much of that out of the way down under the ridge as I can so that it's not everywhere. And then you're going to take your micro marbles, and these are Martha Stewart. I use red, this pinky purple color, this brighter pink, purple, and silver. So these are the colors that I used for my sassy collection. And again, you just kind of get a few of each out. This could actually end up being a little difficult. And the nice thing about the micro marbles is you can kind of like gather them up and put them in a baggie and like save them for later. I have like baggies that are labeled with the different color schemes that I've used. Like I have like my rainbow, I have like a rainbow set, and they're super reusable, so definitely like save them, don't throw them away. And you just kind of get some on your finger, and you just use kind of the same idea as you have been, which is to just kind of sprinkle them on there. You just sprinkle till you like how many you have. And then I just kind of take my finger around the outside, make sure there aren't any like hanging off. And I'll just very, very gently, because you don't want to like get this stuck to your finger, I kind of press them down so they don't go anywhere. So yeah, that's how you do the little sassy ones. So, the next thing you're going to do is bake these in the oven again, and I'll ice these other two before I do. And you're going to bake them again at 275 for like 5 to 7 minutes, until the icing looks really hard. So again, I will be back when I'm finished with that, and I will show you how to complete your earrings. Okay, so now that you have your cookies all baked, this is nice and hard, you can see they look really cool, it's time to get them ready to make them into earrings. So you've got your backs and your ear wires, which I can't seem to get a hold of. So the first thing you're gonna do is take your wire cutters and cut this down, because it's gonna be way too long to make earrings. And for this, you basically just kind of have to eyeball it. And the more times you do it, the better you're gonna get at guessing how long you need to make it. You can always start longer and cut down from there, because you don't want to make it too short. I think right there will be just about right. So you just cut that off, and then you're going to take your round pliers and you just start at the end and you just bend it around until, whoops, they meet like this. Hopefully you can see that. And then I use my angled nose to kind of pull it back so that it stands up real nice and looks pretty. And sometimes it's kind of hard to get in there. You just bend it out, and then you can use it to kind of straighten it and make sure it looks really nice. And then I turn it to the side because you want your cookies to dangle straight. So that's how you get your nice little loop. And then you'll take your ear wire, and it's got an opening. You just kind of take your pliers and you bend it open, and you hook your cookie through and then close this back up nice and securely like that. Then you can add your back. So then you've got a nice dangly earring. And you can do that with the other ones, which I will do as I continue to talk. So this, like I said, this is how I do my sugar cookie earrings. Everybody kind of has their own way of doing things. Like I said, this is the way that I found is best for me. And since it's Valentine's Day, I wanted to do something special with these cookies, besides just making them, showing you how to make them. So the first 5 subscribers that I get, I'm going to do kind of like a giveaway. My first 5 subscribers will be entered into a drawing for a chance to win these earrings. So definitely make sure that you subscribe, and you will win not just this pair, but this pair as well. So you'll win a pair of light pink sweet dangle earrings and light pink sassy earrings. So what's nice about that is you can keep both pairs, and then you have something for if you're feeling sweet or sassy, or you can give one pair away to a special friend as a gift. So definitely make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!